So we use a robotic device in my lab to assess motor behavior and cognitive function. It allows us to manipulate the dynamics of the environment in which people are moving, both mechanical dynamics as well as visual information on the screen. And then we can track the movements as people are making their reaching movements and generate kinematics about their behavior in order to quantify how they're performing the task and relate that to cognitive ability. We have two streams of research in my program. One is focused on just the basic mechanisms of how do those things change as we get older, and what is the interrelationship between cognitive and motor function. And the second stream is, if we can understand something about that relationship, can we use that information to design interventions that can hopefully improve functional independence in later adulthood, or can provide some diagnostic value in the clinic so that we can help identify individuals who are at higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. So we do a couple of different tasks. One is called a visual motor rotation. In those tasks, we ask people to move a cursor on a screen that represents the position of their hand. And then unbeknownst to the participant, we rotate the visual feedback about the position of their hand by 45 degrees, for example. And then participants have to, by trial and error, learn to aim 45 degrees in the opposite direction to get the cursor to go to the target or where they wanted it to go. And one of the other paradigms we use is called a force field adaptation experiment, where we apply a velocity-dependent force field where the robot actually physically pushes their hand perpendicular to their direction of motion, proportionate to the velocity of their movement. And then we measure how well they learn to counteract those forces over time by trial and error. The second part of our research is focused not just on the cognitive and motor function, but also on trying to quantify and understand the neural basis of those processes in both younger and older adults. So we use electroencephalography, and we measure brain activity concurrently while people are performing those cognitive and motor tasks. And our interest is in trying to understand what are the changes that happen in aging in the brain that lead to changes in these cognitive and motor functions.
I really enjoy that we can mix some of the motor learning with some neuroscience tests. I think that it's really some unique experiences that I'm getting here.
It's kind of nice to be part of the research that's hoping can kind of dive into, well, why does our body stop working quite as well, and what's that connection between the brain and the muscle control?